Sir, you mentioned this off the top. You're seeing the United States seemingly moving closer to Moscow. This is the same day that the United States has announced it's suspending aid for Ukraine. The Kremlin just said that U.S. foreign policy now is in alignment with Russia. So how do you successfully, or your successor, successfully negotiate with a president who seems to regard his friends as his enemies and his enemies as his friends?
So what do you do when the USA and Trump are moving closer to Russia and pushing away our allies? That's the subject of today's video, and unfortunately, this is the reality that we're facing. This is the headlines. Russian drone attacks target eastern Ukraine as Trump pauses aid. So Trump is basically cutting off support to Ukraine. Then you also have this. Fears Ukraine defenses will only last months without the U.S. As a reminder, this is how Trump and Vance treated Zelenskyy when he visited the Oval Office. Have a look at this.
Of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you, far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
So as you know, Trump and Vance were very disrespectful to Zelenskyy, and Zelensky's in a tough spot, right? He needs the help from, and the Ukrainian people need the help from the USA. However, various countries will react differently. Take a look at how Canada responds to Russia and Trump.
In this regards, Canada and Canadians are very clear. We know who our friends are. We know who our opponents are, and there is no question that Vladimir Putin and his attack not just on Ukraine, but on the rules-based international order, on the founding principles of the United Nations, is an opponent of Canada. I think the question that we all need to be watching closely is, what do the American people think? How do Americans feel about jettisoning one's friends and allies in favor of a country that has never wished Americans well and continues to act in ways that harm the global economy and specifically the American economy and American values and principles?
So my personal opinion on this is I wish the American president would talk more like the Canadian president, but it is what it is. We're stuck with Trump. As you can see, Canada knows that Russia is not a friend. Plus, Russia is an opponent, and you can't trust Putin. Ukraine, though, however, is in desperate need right now. The USA has cut off support, and we're seeing a different rhetoric from Zelenskyy. Now, I do want, and which we'll go over in a moment here, but I do want to show you what Zelenskyy did say in the White House before. Remember, Vance was saying, "Did you say thank you? Did you say thank you?" In fact, Zelenskyy did, and he did more than once. But I'll show you one here. Take a look.
An honor to have you, and please, you'd like to say something?
No, thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for invitation. And really, I hope that this first document will be first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our people, our children. I really count on it. And of course, we count that America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue it. I want to discuss it with details further.
And then again, this is how Trump is treating Zelenskyy. As a statement from Trump, it says, "This is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelenskyy." This is Zelenskyy saying basically, end of war is with Russia is very, very far away, meaning that he doesn't want to, stop fighting. He want to protect Ukraine, fight for his people. Trump saying that's the worst statement he could have been made. Trump also says America will not put up with it for much longer. It is what I was saying. This guy doesn't want there to be peace as long as he has America's backing, and Europe, in the meeting they had with Zelenskyy, stated flatly that they cannot do the job without the US. Probably not a great statement to be made in terms of a show of strength against Russia. What are they thinking? Again, that's coming from Trump. This is just where we're at. So again, aid is cut off from Ukraine. So Zelenskyy had to make a new statement, calling the meeting regrettable. This is actually the full statement from Ukraine and Zelenskyy. It says here, I would like to reiterate Ukraine's commitment to peace. None of us wants an endless war. Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than Ukrainians. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We are ready to work fast to end the war, and the first stages could be release of prisoners and truce in the sky, ban on missiles, long-range drones, bombs on energy and other civilian infrastructure, and truce in the sea immediately if Russia will do the same. Then we want to move very fast through all next stages, and to work with the U.S. to agree a strong final deal. If you understand what's going on here, basically it's hard to trust Russia. And so what they're floating right now is a 1 month truce, things they're saying. So, no fighting on land, air, or sea. Ukraine and Zelenskyy also say this, we do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. And we remember the moment when things changed when President Trump provided Ukraine with javelins. We are grateful for this. Our meeting in Washington at the White House on Friday did not go the way it was supposed to be. It is regrettable that it happened this way. It is time to make things right. We would like the future cooperation and communication to be constructive. Regarding the agreement on the minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it anytime in any convenient format. We see this agreement as a step toward greater security and solid security guarantees, and I truly hope it will work effectively. So it looks like Ukraine is willing to try to make some sort of deal, but all this rests on whether or not you can trust Russia. So that's sort of, I was saying that at the moment we're looking at possibly a 1 month truce. I think that was talked about with the meetings with UK, France, and other European countries. However, not only can you not trust Russia, it's hard to trust the USA these days as Trump is doing his trade war. You guys have this headline. Yesterday, the market was crashing. Today, it's crashing again. U.S. stock markets plunge as Trump tariffs spark fears about trade war. Other countries have to respond to Trump. Take a look at more of Canada's response.
So today, the United States launched a trade war against Canada, their closest partner and ally, their closest friend. At the same time, they're talking about working positively with Russia, appeasing Vladimir Putin, a lying, murderous dictator. Make that make sense. Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight. Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake. At the moment, the U.S. tariffs came into effect in the early hours of this morning, and so did the Canadian response. Canada will be implementing 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
So that was Trudeau's response. Also, you have this from Mexico. It says Mexico vows retaliation as Trump trade war erupts. This is what it says. Quote from Mexico, there is no reason, rationale, or justification to support this decision that will affect our people and nation. Nobody wins. So that's from Mexico. She said she would give details of Mexico's response, including retaliatory tariffs, at an event in the capital's iconic Zocalo Square on Sunday. Sheinbaum added she would speak with Trump this week, probably on Thursday. And that's where we are in the world. And I wanted to show you the contrast on how various world leaders treat each other, what they're saying. And this is just how it is, right? Every country has different goals, needs, and bargaining chips. Trump, as you know, was the question from the beginning, seems to be pulling the USA closer to Russia. My opinion, that's not the right move. It's hard to trust Russia. You can't trust him, to be frank. You can't trust Putin. And unfortunately, Trump is easily swayed by Putin, and it just looks like Putin is playing Trump. So that's how I see that. And hopefully things will change soon. We'll see. I think Trump's giving a speech tonight, and if he says anything crazy, which I'm sure he will, we'll cover sort of what his policy is going to be. I want to hear your thoughts and hear your assessment of the situation, if you agree or disagree with mine. And thank you for watching.